Hey there, this is an update from my last video. It is now mid-June and I am nearing day 160 through my post-viral fatigue. I wanted to share some things that I have found very beneficial for my recovery, and I hope that you do too. Before I continue, I need to say the obvious. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not trying to give medical advice. This is just a person on the internet trying to help you through your post-viral fatigue recovery. High five, yay. So in the last video, I went over kind of some of the basics. Now this time I'll do a little bit more of a dive into what I'm doing. So I mentioned cold showers. Did you try them? Did you try them? Aren't they joy? So I have also done some cold baths. Now you need some guidance, so I'm not going to explain how to do it. The internet is full of videos on how to do that, but they really are helping get that, I think it's called avasculation, but where the blood is going into the organs, and it's crazy. The first time I did it, it was like 32 seconds, and now I'm up to about 3.5 minutes. So it takes a little while, but it's totally worth it, and a big time pain reducer. Oh my gosh, like within minutes my body feels so much better afterwards. So if you're experiencing pain, I would really recommend the cold showers, graduating to the cold baths when you felt that you were ready, and following some guidance from experts out there. Let's see, I'm still eating easy, but I did bring back coffee a little bit because I'm human, and I also brought back like sugar-free, dairy-free ice cream because once again, it is summertime and I want to have some joys in summertime, but I'm not getting crazy with it. Most of my diet is lean meats, protein, nuts, seeds, fruit by itself, and then I still do smoothies. It's an awesome time for smoothies because you can get so much nutrition in. And here's something to add. Flax seeds. Are you flaxing? I have found that after the sea flu, I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want YouTube police after me, but after I've had that, my autonomic nervous system really kapunked. I've had some thyroid troubles. I seem to have gotten over the pain pretty well, but cognition, memory, word recall, the things like that are really hard, and my digestion it just turned into like thick mud. So what I was talking about in the last video has helped, but I've also added about a tablespoon of olive oil a day, of extra virgin olive oil, of course, and I'll put that in my smoothies, and it fluffs it up really nicely, especially if they're a chocolate smoothie. And then also some flax seeds. When you start with flax, my recommendation is to start with like a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/8 of a teaspoon, especially if you have a sensitive stomach, and then build from there. It'll take you a couple weeks, but I'm up to about just under a tablespoon right now, and that's really helpful for the myelin sheath of your nerves. And with somebody who has EDS, hypermobility syndrome, that was important anyway, but now I have really amped that up because I can tell that there's been a lot of damage after this viral infection particularly. Having said that, another thing that I started doing in my mornings was hyper-oxygenating breath work. Have you heard of this? So it's another one of those Wim Hof things, the cold showers and the cold baths. And my husband got me started on this a while ago. When I had the sea flu, I could hardly breathe, and I was trying to, like, I know what to do and I'll try to, no, that wasn't even happening. So I think I brought this back in April, but I've really doubled down on this. So it's one of the first things I do when I wake up in the morning. I go get some water, like 16 ounces of water, sometimes with a lemon, sometimes with slippery elm, because that really helps your gut mucosa anyway. And then I'll go back to bed and do 2 rounds of hyper-oxygenating breathing. And you can look up the science on that, but it really is important to get your mind focused, get your nervous system turned on. It clears the fog out of your head, and it also starts to interrupt those pain responsors. So I think the cold and the hyper O2 breathing are some of the best things that I've done for reducing my pain, and it's almost gone. So if I can just get my energy up and my energy consistent, then I'd be winning at this. This would be great. My workouts are up to about 8 minutes, and I can do them 2 days in a row, so I know that there's been some progress made. So I still have to be careful. However, progress is progress, right? The most common question I'm asked is, how do you navigate work? Well, I'll tell you, I am very blessed to control my own schedule. You might not be so blessed. You really should have 2 recovery breaks in the day. Mine is at 11 a.m. and then somewhere around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And if it's possible for you to talk to your boss about that you have to walk away from the computer, you have to walk away from noise, and you need absolute downtime. One thing that I have learned to do if I'm in an area where I have to leave is I will go to my car and I'll park somewhere quiet and I will set the AM station on so it's like and then set an alarm on my phone for 10 minutes and I will conk out. I mean, deep REM sleep, everything, I am gone. But when I wake up, when the alarm goes off, I feel so much better and my head's clear and I can do some box breathing. Box breathing is inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, and then you just keep repeating that. But again, that hyper oxygenating breathing is really helpful. And then I can go back to work and have like the best, you know, productivity. So then after 3 hours, I have to do another ninja nap around 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm still sleeping a full night between 8 and 9 hours. It's just, I really need some downtime. It's like your battery, you know how the old cell phones don't keep a charge? So hopefully you have a boss that understands you need these breaks, and it does make you a much better employee. And if they can just allow for some patience, you know, you didn't ask for this, but you have a long road to hoe with this recovery. Also, another thing I've done is gone on some really long bathroom breaks and whatever, but we have 2 bathrooms in our fitness studio, and I'll just go into the second one because there's a chair in there, turn off the lights, turn on the fan, set my phone alarm, lean my head up against the wall. 5 minutes is all I need, and just doing that resets your battery, and it really does make the afternoon a lot easier. I did take off an extra day at work, so I'm only working 4.5 days right now. And maybe I'll get it back, but maybe I won't. So I'm not gonna be frustrated, and I'm not going to put a lot of things on myself right now. I'm just gonna see what's possible by 1 month at a time. Like I said, day 60. I didn't think I'd be here anyway, so we're all in it together. Oh, I mentioned about food. So you really wanna make sure that while your body is cleaning up all this viral debris, past stuff, that you are eliminating. Is that TMI? So this fun stuff, I will put 1 bag in a 32-ounce jar full of hot water, let it steep, put it in the fridge, and I drink that every time I have water. I have about 3 ounces, and it really does help to keep me regular. And if I don't, then my digestion is terrible, and you will not feel good if your digestion is sluggish. So you really have to keep that moving along. Another trick that I do for energy is when I make food for myself, my friend who's a chef told me to cook once, eat twice. So every time I make quinoa, I make a double batch of quinoa or lentils or something like that. I just make a lot more. Now, the pureed vegetables that I mentioned in video 1, that's easy to do. However, not everything I make for myself. If you're gluten-free and dairy-free and you have to rotate your histamines and watch out for nightshades and all this other stuff, it's, you know, it's a balancing act. So I cook once, eat twice, and I clean up the dishes as I go because I just can't stand for that long. So I have to monitor my energy points. I call them my energy coupons. So I just have to watch out for that and make sure that I'm balancing things throughout my day and still staying within 80% of my energy battery with those 2 recovery breaks throughout the day. It's a recipe for success. Look out for my next video. I'm gonna go over my 5-minute workout, which is something that I used to do before, like I said, 10 years ago when I had chronic fatigue syndrome, and it was after being so sick, and it was just what I needed to do to help my central nervous system sharpen. And I really believe that you have to train for the body that you want to have. You can't just wait until you feel good and then try to do exercises and see if it happens for you, because it's not going to happen for you. So you, even if it's like a half set or whatever, it makes a difference. And so I'm going to show you a breakdown of those videos. Keep an eye out for it. Be well.